Peace and love, you beautiful miracles with a spiritual level of being. Nathan here from a spiritual level of being, and today I want to discuss the ancient Jews, the Canaanites, and influences that made up the Bible. Now, DNA evidence shows that the Jewish people are related to the Canaanites, and these Canaanite people were living in many different regions and different locations. Now, the Canaanites had a vast different systems of beliefs, like believing in Yahweh, Elyon, Yahweh having a father being Elyon, multiple gods, sun gods, goddesses, Mother Earth worship. Now, Abraham, who's meant to be the father of Hebrews, the word they use when they're called Abraham the Hebrew in Genesis is actually a mistranslation from the word Iberi. And this word Iberi means to cross over or to pass through, meaning that he's an outsider or a traveller. Now, he comes from the land of Ur, which is in Babylonia. Now, he leaves that place and goes to his native homeland, which is in the land of Canaan, since him being a Canaanite. The Canaanites and Israelites are the same people, just over generations have split and formed a new community. Now, the word Iberi actually comes from the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is the word Ibiru, which is a way of referring to Enkidu. Now, during the Babylonian exile, the Israelites had a vast amount of knowledge of creation myths and other myths in general that were unknown to most outsiders, which they borrowed from and changed to form their new foundation of their dogma, their new civilization, if you will. Now, the creation story, the Garden of Eden, and the flood with Noah come from the Sumerian text, and this is because most of the known world then believed that the Sumerian legends were historical fact, which the ancient Israelites would use to back up their claims of the 5 books of Moses. Now, the story of Daniel comes from a North Canaan poem dated as far back as 1500 BC, being the same people. Now, the story of Job comes from a poem from Babylonia, so a Babylonian poem that was about a virtuous man named Tabu Utul Bel, and he was tested by all the gods, like Job was tested for his faith in God. Now, the story of Jonah comes from multiple sources, and Jonah is swallowed by a whale at the Joppa. Now, in the exact same location, Hercules has been swallowed by a whale. Now, there's a Persian legend as well about their hero, sorry if I butchered the name, Jamahid, who was swallowed by a sea creature or sea monster, sorry for slurring. Now, this sea monster eventually vomited him up safely to shore. And the story of Samson is borrowed from a Canaanite sun god legend of Shamash. Now, the Canaanites in general also believed in Yahweh, Elyon, which was meant to be Yahweh's father. They also had Asherah worship, which was a Mother Earth goddess in a sense, or a goddess of nature. They also had other Mother Earth goddesses. They had sun gods. They had a vast amount of gods, as says in the Bible that the Hebrews were worshipping all different gods, and God was angry with this. And this is because over generations of time, belief systems have changed, and ultimately the Bible was influenced by outsider text. And every religion has done this, has ultimately borrowed and changed when 2 communities have met and ultimately merged into one, bringing a new foundation. So peace and love, everyone. I love you all. Connect to one mind and soul. Namaste.